Sit down, sit down, sit down, and take your rest. Surrounded by your friends, you're truly blessed. Zachor v'shamor, we remember and we pray for this joyful gift of Sabbath day. Put aside your worries and your cares. You know the price was paid. You've done your share. Zachor v'shamor, we breathe in the candlelight, brought together on this Sabbath night. And we sing Shabbat, 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 Shalom. The peace of the Sabbath night is like coming home. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. I join my voice to yours, and I'm not alone. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy New Year. And we're going to begin this evening with a meditation. I feel like we all need an opportunity after this week to kind of let it go, to close our eyes, to imagine something beautiful and welcoming on this Shabbat. There is a midrash that teaches that when God split the sea, fruit trees, apple and pomegranate, bloomed in the miraculous passage through the waters, and birds perched in the trees sang to celebrate the freedom of the former slaves. So I invite you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out, and just imagine. You are walking along the shoreline of a body of water. As you walk, a woman of light approaches you. In her hands, she holds a cage with a bird inside. She opens the cage door, releasing the bird. Opening its wings into full wingspan, the bird flies gracefully above the waters. The woman says, "Leave the cage that contains and constricts you. Be free like the bird." As the bird flies over the waters, you see the waters separate, revealing a miraculous passage. In this passage, a beautiful garden appears, a garden filled with trees and flowers. You note how beautiful the trees are. Some are laden with apples and pomegranates. Others are crowned with blossoms. You note the rich variety and beauty of the flowers. You step into the garden and follow the flight of the bird. You pass through a gate and find yourself in a new place, a place that transcends time and space. In this place, you are free of anything that constricts you. As you enter into this place, you hear the sound of the most beautiful music. You see Miriam and the women of Exodus dancing and singing the song of the sea. Now see yourself joining them, dancing and singing the song of freedom, dancing and singing the song of your soul. You are always free to enter into this sacred garden of the Shekhinah, into this place of freedom. These places are always there for you, deep within you. Know that Miriam and the women of Exodus are always there for you, singing and dancing with your soul. And now we turn to Gabrielle, Jeff, and Noah for the lighting of the Shabbos candles.
You're ready. You'll have to do that.
Okay.
He's going to use the matches because I get too scared. Okay. Mm-hmm. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotah v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Yay!
Thank you. And now we turn to Jan for a reading.
It is a covenant as old as our people, a promise carried throughout the ages. God will keep those who keep Shabbat. And yet today we struggle to find peace of mind. We struggle to find the inner calm of Shabbat. We struggle to feel the love of the Shekhinah. We have gained solace in the arms of community, coming together on Friday and Saturday, sharing the prayers of one another. The humanity of joining together is now absent from our lives, leaving us to yearn for the hugs and smiles. The salve of Shabbat remains despite social distancing. The words of the Shema still define our being. The lessons of Torah are still a tree of life. Shabbat cares for us as we celebrate Shabbat. We care for Shabbat as it celebrates us. Shabbat is our connection to each other in all times.
We continue with the prayers of Kabbalat Shabbat.
When we sing, we pray twice. When we sing, we are one. When we sing, when we sing, when we sing, when we sing, we pray twice. When we sing, when we sing, we sing, when we sing, when we sing, we are one.
Lechadodi, page 20. Sadiq Katamar, page 22, a song for Shabbat. Sadiq Katamar, Yifra, Ke'eres, Bavanon, Yizke, Sheturim, Bebeit Adonai, Bechatzrot Eloheinu, Yafrichu, Od Yanuvun, Besela, Yishayim, Vera'ananim, Yiyu, Lahagim, Ki Yashar Adonai, Zuri, Lo Avlatahu. Adonai is sovereign. God is robed in grandeur. Adonai is robed. God is girded with strength. The world stands firm. It cannot be shaken. Your throne stands firm from of old, from eternity. You have existed. We continue with the Baruch Hu on page 28. I invite you to rise. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Continue on page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. As we prepare for the Shema, feeling ourselves grounded, feeling ourselves centered, feeling ourselves ready to welcome Shabbat, to be present, to be in this moment. We take a deep breath in and out to prepare. And then one more breath in. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta, page 36. What's going on here? Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your head, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise. So this week we begin the book of Shemot, Exodus, and the parsha is called Shemot, and we begin to learn about Moses and Miriam and Pharaoh, and we've got the burning bush coming up in a few minutes in my little sermon. And so I always feel especially close to the Micha Mocha during this time of year when we're reading these chapters, because this is the time when the Israelites find their freedom by crossing the sea. And this is the time when Miriam and the women will dance and sing with their timbrels. And so as we sing Micha Mocha, I am especially aware of the time of year, of what we are studying in the Torah, of what this walk to freedom means to all of us in these days and in those. Let's join together, page 40. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, we are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking, we are Hashkivenu prayer in English on the top of page 43. Please join me if you have the Siddur. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We come to Vishamru, a special song for Shabbat. What would Shabbat be without Vishamru or Yismachu? Tonight is Vishamru, page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue with the Amidah, the Tefillah. We're beginning on page 46. I invite you to rise.
Adonai, Adonai, Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Let me sing one more song, let me choose right from wrong, let me pray one more prayer, Svatai Tiftach. Let me love one more love, let me trust from above, let me pray one more prayer, Svatai Tiftach. Ananana, ananana, Adonai. Ananana, Svatai Tiftach. Ananana, Ufi Yagid. pray, find their way, Spatai Tiftach. Be my vision, be my guide, be my hope, be my light. Let me praise your name, Spatai Tiftach. Oh, Ananananananana Adonai. Anananananana Spatai Tiftach. Anananananana Ufi Agi Tahilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VeHaNorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Gula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim, atah Rav lechoshia. Mashiv haruach u'mariv hagashem. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato l'shemei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umidomelav. Melech memitu mechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah lahachayot metim Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hametim. We take a few moments for the prayers of our hearts or the prayers of the liturgy and the Siddur. Let's take lots of deep breaths on this Shabbat and let it all go. Page 62, Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Take a few moments to think about those in our lives who are in need of healing prayers.
physical, emotional, spiritual. And if there are folks in your lives for whom you are praying this evening, I invite you to say their names out loud and in your hearts. And we pray for their caregivers, and we pray for their family, and we pray that God will provide for them the healing that they require. And we sing this song together, "O Guide My Steps."
Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. And help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. And help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps.
This evening, I want to share with you a few snippets from an essay that I discovered online this week. It's by a rabbinical student named Heather Paul, and I thought it was just lovely. It's entitled, "I Will Be With You, a reading of Exodus for the new year." This week, we read the beginning of the story of Exodus, which includes Moses' first encounter with God through a burning bush. When Moses moves toward the strange burning, God calls out to him, "Moses, Moses." And Moses says, "Hineni, here I am." Hineni is a statement of focused presence. I am here. I am listening. I am ready. God says, "Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt," continues God. "I have heard their cry. I know their sufferings." God was not enslaved by the Egyptians, and yet God knows the suffering of the Israelites just by seeing their afflictions. This is empathy, to know the suffering of others, whether or not you can personally relate. Rashi teaches us that God demonstrates that God is with the Israelites in their affliction by appearing in a thorn bush instead of a more innocuous plant or tree. God says, "The cry of the people of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen how the Egyptians oppress them. Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt." Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? I will be with you, God says. I will be with you. God does not say, "It will all be okay," or "Don't be ridiculous, of course you can do it." God does not tell Moses, "This is your job, now deal with it." God never tries to convince Moses that the Exodus will be easy. Instead, God shows Moses that he will not be on this journey alone. We often feel isolated when facing challenges, alone in our personal deserts, waiting for a bush to burn. It is tough to combat feelings of loneliness because vulnerability is scary, our own and the vulnerability of others. Of course, we are compelled to walk away from it all, to face the suffering of others, by suffering alone. This is why God's promise, I will be with you, is such a powerful and healing response. When we do not actually know the outcome of a situation, it is all going to be okay is hard to swallow. And just stay positive can feel like blame. Validation and acceptance create a space for real growth and change. Yes, this is really hard. It feels impossible. And yet here I am with you, and I will stay. Presence means you are not walking away. Presence says your pain is not taboo. Presence says you have not lost me, even if you feel like you have lost everything. Presence says, Hineni, here I am listening, I am with you. Like Moses, most of us just need to know that we are not alone. With the start of our secular new year, I encourage you to really listen to family and friends and to seek an understanding of their suffering, even if you cannot personally relate. Listen to what your loved ones are saying and not saying. Check your assumptions when you are about to offer advice. A simple, I will be with you, may be more than enough. Suffering is hard, and isolation makes it harder. Your presence is a gift. Our service continues with the Aleinu. I invite you to rise as we open the ark doors. The Aleinu is found on page 282.
Aleinu leshabeach l'Adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer preshit, shelo asanu kagoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, begor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
We continue with Kaddish, thinking about those people in our lives who have died recently or in years past during the month of January. I invite you to notice if there are any of your loved ones on the screen. And if there are not, I invite you to say those names aloud, hold them close, for we walk in the shadows of their lives, and we stand upon their shoulders. Let us join together with the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv v'maru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'l'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. And now we turn to Jen for a reading.
Shekinah, we live in a broken world and the light gets in through the cracks. I come seeking this light, and I come seeking lightness. I have opened my heart to the suffering of others, and I am heavy with their voices. Help me release this darkness and pain. Help me discover a shelter of peace within, so that I may open the shelter of my heart again to those who are in need. Shekinah, I come seeking courage, the courage to combat despair, the courage to find sparks of light in each moment of suffering, and the courage to ask others for help when I can no longer see the sparks in the darkness. Shekinah, sustain my empathy as I create the distance I need for my own healing. Help me hold on to light as I release the suffering that has taken root in my heart. Teach me that letting go, like holding on, is an act of love. Blessed are you, Shekinah, healer of healers, who makes us whole and holy in your embrace.
Thank you to the Hawks family, and thank you to Jan for readings and Shabbat candle lighting this evening. We decided to sing something kind of gentle to end our Shabbat service this evening. It's been a crazy week. And so the words in this particular song, there's some Hebrew and there's some English. And the word Shekhinah means divine presence. And we begin the song with these words, because I think we can all use some divine presence in our lives today. So, and as we sing, please enjoy some visions of what divine presence might look like. Shekhinah, na 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 na. Shekhinah, na 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 na. Shekhinah, na 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 na. Shekhinah. To find light within us, to illumine the pathway to you, and give us your light to find light within us, to illumine the pathway to you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.